Is it working? Does this one work? Can you fucking hear me? Ah! All right, hang on now. Let's fix it up. Okay, this one, deleted. See you later. This one, good to go. Hey, yo, chat, can you hear me? Are we good here? What the fuck? You wasted my $2 super chat? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Send another one in, and I'll end the stream again. Well, I don't know what the hell that was. Like, I literally don't. I literally don't know. It said something about interlaced video. Did you guys hear me complaining at all in the last one? Because I was like, it was giving me like signal. It was like, this video is interlaced. Oh, yeah? Yeah, so it was like, your video's interlaced. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, we can't support your interlaced video, Josh. I was like, well, what the hell, man? It wasn't laced yesterday. It was clean. You know, we've been streaming so much. Stop lacing your video. I know, right? Yo, my bad. What was it laced with? I don't know. What do you think, chat? That feels like a question that is safer if you answer it than me. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to your Friday show, to your Friday stream. Hopefully we're good and live on all platforms. That would be nice. A little bit more of just a casual sprawling stream today. Not a ton of news. A little bit slower on the news this week, other than, of course, the Acolyte cancellation and all the rumors and fallout from that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit worn out. We did a lot of streaming this week, man. We did a lot of streaming. I feel good about the amount of streams and the amount of content and the amount of fun had. But it's one of those things where, like, to be completely honest with you, clickbait title. Maybe. Not a ton of news, clickbait. I mean, all right, fuck off. What do you want me to say? It's the most clickbait title I could have fucking possibly thought of. I put goddamn George Lucas on the title in the thumbnail. Yeah, man. All right, so I threw some goddamn clickbait on there. What you want? Holy shit. Do you know how I make a living? Clickbait. You know how I afford all of this nerdy stuff? Clickbait. I'm a merchant of clickbait. Okay, anyway. We chill for a second, and I'm going to go over all those chats and everything in a second. I appreciate the support, guys. Look. So much news, I'm quitting YouTube. Ooh, good one. Good one. Hey, don't play. I might quit again. You know, it starts off with conversations like this. Like, you know, I'm not quite burnt out, but it was just, I've been really busy. And then next week, it's like, I'm fucking done. I quit. I'm done. Oh, my God. And we got the all caps gambling. Holy shit. I guess it's shut up and dribble for Josh, huh? I see you yapping. Shut up and dribble, nerd. Entertain me and put on my digital gambling. Okay, anyway. Hang on a goddamn second here. Justin says, don't worry, guys. He has a baby on the way, so he can't leave. Facts. What the fuck is Drake? We're playing Drake? We're doing great. We're doing great today. It's a fantastic day, and we're really killing it. I think that was fantastic. By the way, God damn it, chat. You got my brain. You got me in a blender, man. I'm fucking crashing out already. How much? It's 11:11. Make a goddamn wish, because I'm crashing out. And I'm sweating. And now I'm sweating. Okay. I actually liked Andor. Don't have Twitter. Def bots. I mean, thanks for that one. Right when I'm on the edge, you're gonna hit me with an Andor comment. I'm reading Don't Kill Myself books, and you're gonna hit me with it. No, I'm just playing. Sweaty King. I don't know how to feel about that, but thank you. No, I didn't get the P. Do I look like a person that got the PO box figured out this week? Holy shit. We need socks in the merch store. What the fuck? You know what? The guidance counselor was right. You know, I was going down a bad path. I'm now seeing the wisdom. That guidance counselor was right. I didn't give her enough credit. It was a bad path. It was the wrong path. Allah, vis-a-vis, ergo. Here we are. Okay, anyways, what I was going to say before you got me all discombobulated was, you know, the truth is, it's difficult to stream and come fresh and be excited and entertaining and have fun with you guys. You know, that's like in itself, it's hard. I'm not saying it's physical labor hard. You know what I mean? We're not building the Titanic. You know, we're not settling the West here. But yeah, it's difficult. The other thing is it's hard to do that while also keeping track of the videos. I feel like I really ebb and flow between having a fantastic week with videos or having a fantastic week in streaming. It's very difficult to do both. And it's like, I feel that ebb and flow in that pool. And it's like, I really got to make some better fucking videos this week. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, you know, today's stream's going to be pretty chill, pretty cash. We do have a Diamond Lounge tonight at 7:30. I'm excited for that. We shall be sipping and puffing and shit talking. Oh, it's going to be great. So I'm excited for that. But I need to spend some time this weekend getting back to like making good ass videos and staying on the video stuff. Weekly Josh burnout rant. We're not quite there yet. Okay, it's not a burnout rant. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I just feel like the tank's low. You know what I mean? Like just a lot of energy, a lot of expenditures. I mean, you know, Tuesday's usually a nice day for me to catch up on video stuff and get that figured out. And instead I had, you know, we did the Accolade stream. I had some comic book stuff I was working on. So it's just like, you know, if he pulls out the Hulk hands, it's over. That's true, actually. Yeah, you're not wrong. Are you going to tell us your secret at the lounge tonight? I'm not sure what secret you're referring to, but hell no. Is Diamond this week? I feel a postponement in the air. No. I'm actually feeling good on the Diamond. To be honest with you, like, I need to just have creative juice for videos. Like, I need to just sit there and think of good video ideas, how to make good videos. It might seem like we just throw our videos together and shit, but like, honestly, the best performing videos we've ever had, and I think really the bar for content is just being raised. So I think just in general, if you want views, you gotta make good fucking videos. You know, that's what it is. That actually just takes like a certain type of brain power. To be honest with you, like kind of getting in here and just being on stream and chilling, that's kind of like easy peasy. Diamond Lounge shit, that's easy peasy too. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I have to worry about in the Diamond Lounge is like, oh shit, are we gonna get canceled because I said that, etc., etc. But I mean, having a few drinks and a few smokes, not exactly heavy work for me. You know what I mean? That's pretty light work. So tonight should be fine. It's more the case that like I've kind of set aside today just as one of those days where like, dude, you're not gonna get a lot of good video work done. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a fun stream. You're gonna kick it with the peeps. You're gonna be a little tired from that. You know, you're gonna get into the gym. You know, hang out with family a bit, and then you got Diamond Lounge tonight. Tomorrow morning I'll wake fresh and work on some video stuff. That's all I'm saying. I just wish it was like easier, man. You know what I really wish there was, and there's probably like reasons something like this doesn't exist. But what I really wish I could do is like take some kind of a pill and just wipe away all of like my brain fog and fatigue and like be fresh. Like, you know, when you first wake up in the morning and all of your like serotonin, norepinephrine, like all of your levels are just fucking firing, and you've had like a couple cups of coffee and you're just like boom, 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 you know, you're feeling great. I wish there was a way to like replicate that when you're, you know, dragging a little bit. It's no, not fucking Adderall, dude. No. It's called Xanax? Hell no. None of that shit. None of that shit. All of that stuff feels weird to me. It feels really like manufactured and like unnatural. I'm talking about like if you wake up, dude, they just have not cracked the code on this. There's nothing that can replace waking up after like a great night's sleep and just having peace of mind and feeling good and feeling energized and then like getting work done. Oh my God, listen to y'all. It's none of the stuff you're talking about. If it existed, I would know about it. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 9 years. Oh my God, man. That explains why you're such a grumpy motherfucker, bro. You need that sleep. Jump in an ice bath. Yeah, dude. If I was listening to chat right now, I'd be like on neurotropics, microdosing mushroom, cold plunge, fucking, you know, ayahuasca bong rips with fucking cocaine, and like, you guys, man. You guys are not doctors. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I'm putting that together now. You guys are not doctors, or basically authorities on pretty much anything. I'm gonna be honest. Ayahuasca Gonda through the eyeballs. Hell yeah, brother. Microdosing is amazing. Hey, maybe I'll talk about that tonight on the Diamond Lounge. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, I do have a list of things that I wanted to go over today. Let's get the gambling going on, though, for all of you gambling fiends. Let me get that going on for you. Also, anybody got any nice plans this weekend? What's the vibe this weekend? You guys doing anything? I'm going to try to play Warhammer. That's like my big goal of the weekend, is I want to get a Warhammer game in. And obviously work on some video stuff, but... modules. Turn that on there. Let me add some points to all of the users. Boom. There you go. I don't have to work this weekend, so that's a win. Hell yeah, that's a W, man. That's a dub. Doing some housework. Yeah, it's that time of year. Local comic book convention. Ooh, that sounds fun. You should give out some coin. I just dropped 10K. I don't know if everybody got it, but I just dropped some coinage. How did I get unsubscribed? Pretty Nikki, what? What did I do? What did I do to earn your scorn? And how can I earn your love back once again? YouTube unsubscribing people? I do one little stream where I talk about the Acolyte, and now all of a sudden people are getting unsubscribed? All right, cool. It's good to have you back. Yeah, so 2 days ago, you know how I said the Acolyte stream got demonetized? It got the yellow thing. The next day, I got a goddamn red. It was completely demonetized. All because I watched that stupid fucking trailer for the Level Up, John. With the Amazon show, which I think is so cool. What the fuck, man? The company's just like, oh yeah, no, you know your 3-hour long stream? Well, you reacted to this video for a minute, so no ads. Oh my God, bro. How do I reach these kids? Yeah, that's right. I told y'all it's tough out here. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. What the fuck are we talking about today? Hey, I've got a list here. The first thing on my list is Ahsoka. I actually wanted to talk about Ahsoka a little bit. And by the way, thank you everybody who showed up last night. By the way, I did not know this until after the stream. But we had 77 new subs over on Twitch last night for that stream. Dude, that was awesome. Thank you guys. And I didn't know we were that close to getting to 100 so we could actually finish the show. I probably should have like said we were close, right? My bad. I'll try to keep track better next time. But dude, that was awesome. That was a fun ass stream. Like, it was good to watch it. It was good to just hang. I like those streams, man, where it's just a little bit more casual, a little bit more cozy. We can kick it, you know. That was fun. And I guess I'll just get right into it. Upon rewatching Ahsoka, I mean, dude, to me, I give it an even higher score. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Oh, yeah, horny stream for sure. Yeah, dude, everybody gets really degenerate when we just do the Twitch streams. You know, it's fine. You know, nothing I can't handle. But those late night Twitch streams, my God, bro. My God. Yeah. Bunch of hornballs over there. But also, there is a lot of cake in that show. But for me, rewatching Ahsoka, I will just say I have some highlights, some things that I was like really blown away by, and then there's a few things that actually didn't work for me as well. Like, I don't know if you guys had this experience, but episode 5, although incredible, I do think is kind of a weirdly paced episode. But just in general, I think Ahsoka is great, and I think it really lends itself to a binging formula. Like, there are a few episodes, like I think episode 3, maybe a little bit episode 2, even 4 a little. They feel really good together. When you spread them out over a week, I just don't know how well they go. And correct me if I'm wrong, was it 2 episodes of Ahsoka right away? Or was it 3? Did we get 3, then 4, then 5? I don't remember exactly. I know we got more than 1. At least I believe so, yeah? 2 episodes together? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like this show should have been binged. Or maybe like 4 at a time. I think the first 2 episodes work really well together. But I think like going right into 3 and then right into 4 and then right into 5, man, it just... I think it really works well. Now, just plainly, one of the reasons we wanted to watch the show again was because not only was it, you know, a year ago when Ahsoka actually came out, but we just had Acolyte, and Acolyte's maybe the most obvious and the biggest failure under the Disney era, right? So, like, before that, probably Solo, A Star Wars Story, which was the first Star Wars movie to lose money in the theater. Other than that, I mean, I guess you could say Andor, even though I think Andor's numbers do grow over time, right? Which was indicated by some of the more recent data that we got. Acolyte's just the biggest one. It literally got canceled. None of these other shows got canceled. I think they do that like limited series thing with Boba, though technically we kind of know, yes, that was a bit, you know, kind of canceled. Acolyte's the one that, like, it has the most egg on its face. It was the silliest marketing I've ever seen, and just substantively not a great show. And the discourse over the past couple of days has been really interesting, because you got a lot of people that are, you know, butthurt about it. You have a lot of people celebrating. And that's just the reality of the fan base. The fan base is that divided. You know, that's what it is. So going back to Ahsoka was really interesting for me. And I just got to say, I think people went way too hard on that show. I think the first 2 episodes, let's just talk about the first episode. The first episode is really well put together, man. And it has things that like Acolyte doesn't have, where, you know, it really lets scenes breathe and you let things kind of develop and cook more slowly. I'm still not crazy about the stuff they're doing with Sabine, which is so weird, because like I love the Sabine character. And I think is it Natasha? I think it's Natasha. She's fantastic and great. But there's just some character choices and things that they did that I don't love, like forming this conflict off screen that doesn't quite match up to Rebels is weird. Having the show itself focus on her being so inept at the Force, but then becoming a Jedi, only to lead to like this ridiculous Force thing. There's stuff that I don't love with that character, but I think that Ahsoka is a little bit more sophisticated in plot than we give it credit for. One of the things I caught on watching it again was like, oh, this is really interesting. You have one side where a mystery is being sort of discovered by Ahsoka, Hera, you know, that side of the plot. And then you have this other side where the plan is kind of unfolding via the villains and their discussion, and Balin is just so interesting in the way that he's observing and questioning all of this. So the narrative structure is actually a little bit more nuanced, and it's just better than I thought. You know what I mean? So I want to give it credit for that. I think Dave actually did like kind of write the shit out of it. Some of it falls flat, and I think one of the problems, we talked a little bit about this last night, I think there's a difference between people who loved Rebels that watch this show and people that are unfamiliar with the characters, right? And I think this might be the biggest divide amongst fans, because for a person like me who loves these characters, knows these characters, spent years with these characters, a lot of the dialogue and the conflict early on, I'm not disengaging from it. Some of it's more interesting than others, but like with Ahsoka, Hera, and Sabine and this whole like searching for Ezra thing, I'm engaged in it, right? But I think for people that were not all that engaged with it, I think there's like this really, it's like a hard divide to get over. And I was kind of saying this last night, and this is not to be you know, a butthole or to be toxic or whatever, but it is really a lot of women talking about their feelings in conflict. And that just happens to be because all the characters are female. But I do think there's a lack of balance there, because again, if you're on the outside looking in, it's like plot being pushed and then women talking about their feelings. That's literally what it is. And I just got to be honest, I think that there could be more balance. Like, you could have injected some more male energy into that, even if there was just some like weird, just almost doofus level dude that was like interrupting that shit and just being brash. Like, I know that might sound weird, but I'm telling you, like, that kind of cuts through that and breaks it up. And I think it could be like appropriate. You know what I mean? So like, I would inject a little more male energy into Ahsoka season 2. Like, I'm speaking more of like, as I'm trying to kind of think of what it would be like to watch the show without having the love of these female characters the way that I do. And I definitely think that's something they should do, is kind of tweaking on that end. But from the Star Wars feeling perspective, man, dude, this show feels so Star Wars to me. And I think it gets all the little things right. Like the sound cues, the flares, the sound design itself with the different, just the way that they fill space. It feels atmospheric. It feels very Star Wars to me. So I think they're nailing the Star Wars aspect of it. And like way better than Acolyte. Acolyte is so uneven. It would at times feel Star Wars, and then at times it would feel like it's desperately trying to be Star Wars. But there's just something off-putting about that, you know? It kind of like turns me off more than just, you know, doing your own thing. Ahsoka specifically felt very Star Wars. And it kind of has that rhythm or that rhyme of the Filoni animated stuff. Which, again, I think your sensibility or your taste for might vary. But for me, like, you know, the weird guy on Corellia and that whole situation, and then, like, the droid selling them out and all that stuff, is it campy? Is it childish? For sure. But is that Star Wars? Absolutely. Like, Star Wars to me is not Andor, where it's like super serious and like, oh, this shit, that shit, second and the third. No, Star Wars is floaty adventure that like randomly will like cut to the heart of you as a being in a way that is just beautiful. You know what I mean? So to me, like, dude, I just respect what the show was able to do with that Star Wars feeling. To me, that is what it is. That's the brand, that's the vibe, and I absolutely love it. So rewatching Ahsoka, I mean, what a treat. I thought it was great. You know, getting to episode 5, which of course, like, maybe the most rewatched episode for me, obviously because of the Anakin stuff. But dude, rewatching that, I mean, the one thing that I don't think anybody can argue with is that Hayden was so good. Like, surprisingly good. You know, like, Hayden was so good as Anakin. It was bizarre. I kept saying it last night on stream, but I feel that way. This was his best performance as Anakin. Literally. Like, and you could tell he has been watching Clone Wars. He's actually spoken about this, how that show kind of saved him, and he, like, loves that show. So you can see flares of the Anakin from that show and how he's bringing that into the performance. It's really cool. We also kind of know that due to some stuff behind the scenes that Hayden would say things even on set and change things. Like, there was something he disagreed with Dave on, and Dave ended up going with Hayden on it because, like, dude, Hayden was just, like, in the zone. He was just, like, feeling it. And it's beautiful. I mean, it reminds me a lot of, like, you hear stories like this about RDJ or even Tom Hiddleston, where they have such an ownership of the character and, like, an intuitive knowing of what the right choices are for the character, that they're often very involved writing, you know, producing at that level. It's beautiful to have people take such ownership of characters, especially legacy ones, that they care so much about. I mean, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, great examples. They've been playing these characters for a long, long time. And I would tell you, I think Hugh Jackman's performance in Deadpool and Wolverine is, if not tied with his best performance of the past 20 years, it's the best one. You know, he has such a grip on how to portray Logan. It's beautiful stuff. And Hayden did that as well, man. So that was absolutely phenomenal. I love the themes that Dave is playing with. I think structurally, the show also has a very beautiful mise en scène, meaning the feeling of the scene, you know, created by costume, lighting, framing, all of it. It feels like a cohesive piece. It's true to its own world. That vermisitualuda word that Robert Meyer Burnett loves. That's what I mean. It's like, it is true to its own world, and it feels like Star Wars. So, you know, I thought, and also we only got to episode 5, right? So we got 6, 7, 8 to do, and 7 and 8 are not great. You know, 6 is my favorite episode in the show, but 7 and 8 are not great. So, you know, I'll watch that. I might even watch the rest of them off stream, guys. I know that might be a bummer, but I think I might do that because I kind of want to do like a video kind of breaking down my thoughts on it. But yeah, man, I wasn't 100% sure how Ahsoka would hit me going back, right? Because I think I had rose-tinted glasses on for a lot of it. I love Filoni. I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't think it's a big secret at this point, but, like, yes, Dave and I went to the same college. He won an alumni award. He came back. It was sort of formative for me because this was him in, like, season 2 of Clone Wars, and this was me as an art student. And, you know, getting to learn and hear Dave talk about George and, like, all these things. It was super formative, right? So I think I have a strong bias for Filoni. But I thought maybe, you know, enough time had passed. The tinted glasses had been off. But you know, revisiting it, man, I was like, damn, this is really, really good. So I'm totally team Filoni, bro. I'm team Ahsoka. I hope they cook with season 2. I'm excited that Dave is co-writing Mando and Grogu. I'm excited. I still hope Dave gets his movie, because, like, that's another thing is going back. I think this dude can do it. He has to improve for sure, but I'm telling you, I think people went way too hard on this shit. You think about Acolyte and some of the just mishaps and goobly glob of that show, and then you go back and rewatch Ahsoka. It is much more sound. It is much more complete, put together. The vision is there. You might not love the vision, but the vision is there, and it's executed. So, I mean, to me, Ahsoka's my kind of Star Wars. I'm all about it. And can't wait to see what they do next. You know, there's Star Wars is in a bad way. A lot of bad things happening. And I hope they can navigate a way out of this in which Dave is still there and involved and you know, doing his thing. Because I think if you just remember back to what the fan base was like when Ahsoka was coming out, especially like after episode 4 and then after episode 5, because they tease Anakin in 4, right? And then they go hard in 5. I think if you remember back, I mean, it's just a world of difference. So much better. I mean, yeah, there were haters. There were people that really didn't like it, and I think there's a big group of people that just really don't like Dave. But I mean, think about how different even that was compared to Acolyte, bro. Like, my God. My goodness. It's night and day, bro. Not night and day. All right, let me catch up on a couple of chats here. Then we'll move on to the next topic. Any other questions, comments, concerns about the old Ahsoka? Peter says, first in the day, says, I want to get into the Diamond Lounge, but I have no idea how. I'm past 6 months. Please let me in. You got to hit somebody up on the Discord, man. Look, here's what I'm going to tell you, Peter. I want you to be there. But you're going to have to learn some technology, some C++, some Java. You know what I mean? You're going to have to watch a few YouTube tutorial videos. You got to get on Discord, which probably seems crazy, but you got to do it. Ringo's rolling. Appreciate the 10 spot, brother. Says, Josh, I'm getting married today, but I had to stop by chat and say, no Avengers for life. Hey, I appreciate it, man. And congratulations. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Drink it up. Drink it up, brother. Tim O'Brien says, Power's back. That little droid did it. Oh, hell yeah, man. That's sweet. That's sick, dude. Captain Zgut says, your video was interlaced with copium as we hope Star Wars gets back on track. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. They were like, bro, that's way too much copium. Space Trick Serial TM says, I actually like it. Okay, Rossi says, we need socks. Josh, watch Solo and calm down. Oh my God. Do you guys know that Solo, a Star Wars story, is the only piece of Star Wars content that I have never watched it a second time. I have never gone through Solo, a Star Wars story, a second time. Yeah, no, I can't, bro. I've tried. Like, I put it back on, and I actually tried. I was like, no. Like, I'll give it its fair shot. Bro, I fucking hate that movie. I hate that movie. It might be up there with Quantumania for me. Yeah, dude, it's trash. Yeah. So maybe someday we'll do a sub goal to rewatch it and we can put it on Twitch and I'll just fucking torch that thing for a couple hours. Because that thing is a big old turd, man. I know, they wasted Tandy. Dude, they wasted Tandy when she was having her, like a second peak in her career. Oh, I'm so salty, dude. Tandy Newton, what a babe. What a fucking babe, dude. Aged like fine wine, too. Crazy. What the hell? Freck says, I see your thumbnail, and I'm KK Con, George back. Then I open the video, and I see your hairy face talking about clickbait. Worked amazingly. You know, I've been doing this for a while, so I appreciate it. Rossi says, you coming fresh is the hardest part. What the fuck? Representative Bing says, show us your coolest pair of socks. You know, there was a moment where I got into that one kind of sock. I don't even remember what they're called anymore. But they had, like, the logo with the crisscrosses. And they were kind of hot for a second. Like, I'd go to different Comic-Cons, and I'd see them, and I'd get, like, different nerdy pairs. And they were kind of lit. Stance. Yeah, I think that's them. I think he wants to secretly show her feet low-key. Wait, what? What the fuck? No. I secretly do not. Unsecretly. MK Matt says, vibes were great last night with the Ahsoka stream. Was fun watching with y'all. Dev a show that's better binged. If it ain't Filoni, it ain't for me. Yeah, I agree, bro. That was a fun time, man. I'm having a blast streaming with you guys. I mean, to be honest with you, like, dude, make videos and shit is like, it's hard. It's difficult. I wish I could just stream with you guys and just stream all the time and just stream and not make videos. But unfortunately, we have another kid on the way, so I've got to do more work. I got to actually try. I got to actually use my brain to come up with interesting videos. Anyway, Filmic FPV says, yesterday I announced my Daredevil film on Twitter after 3 years of working on it. And the Kingpin himself commented on it. I still can't believe, dude, that's sick. Link me. Link me. You're our dad first? Yeah. It's kind of not true, though. Whose fault is that? Let's not get into the blame game here. Okay? Let's not get into the blame game. Let's just, it is what it is. It's just, it is what it is. Rossi, thanks for the buck. Purple Funk says, toss a coin to your clickbait merchant. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Ruben Shearer, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. You are a Nerd Avenger now. LS Photography says, Den of Little Debbie Cakes. Josh, aside, that stream last night was a phenomenal. Oh, jokes aside. Okay. Yeah, no, that was fun. And honestly, dude, don't sleep on that Little Debbie. I mean, I'm telling you, that it's nice. It's nice. I'm a fan. Benjamin says, Acolyte merch back on the Disney store. Uh-oh, maybe they're going to renew it now. Maybe that petition worked, huh? Sabine has, oh my God, dude, Kendall and Justin, you guys were ready for that one. I'm telling you, there's a Little Debbie there. And, I'm a fan, that's all. Hey, what's all my fault? Nothing, my love. Stop the cap. No cap here. Unless you've brought it yourself. Caden says, good morning, nerds. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Kalisto says, I loved Hera and Sabine in Rebels, but I had a disconnect with them in Ahsoka. However, I was totally into it when Ahsoka was in a scene. Yeah, that's interesting. There's some stuff that doesn't perfectly match up with the old show. Like I said, conflict that happens off screen, it's a little bit weird. But I think what I'm saying is I'm paying attention. When these two characters are in a room or when these three characters are together, I'm paying attention. There is a desire to know what is happening that I think is established in me that is not necessarily established in other people that have not seen the show. That's all I was trying to say. I do think, though, that's fair. There are a lot of Rebel fans. I mean, dude, there's a lot of Sabine fans that were not crazy about that Force shit. Like, real talk. Like, that is... But, yeah, I hear you. Appreciate the support. Let us see. Rossi says, Ahsoka's more somber portrayal didn't bother me as much. I wish she acts more like Clone Wars version. A little bit more for season 2. Yeah, so that's the thing. At the end of episode 5, she is a little bit more like happy-go-lucky, a little bit more like the Ahsoka we recognize. And yeah, she's kind of like, she's just not having the best time, I guess, at the beginning of it. I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. Corey says, hey, Josh, finally hit 6 months. And I'm super stoked. Tonight is a Diamond Lounge. Can you let me know how I can get in? I'm so miserable now. Yeah, you got to get on the Discord, my brother. We'll get you in there. You get on the Discord. Just scream out loud, help! Somebody help! And somebody will help. So there you go. Twist Off says, Josh, I don't know if you saw the new Alien, but especially in the first act, felt more adventurous coupled with the score than Acolyte entirely. No, I haven't seen it. Yo, what's the deal with this movie, though? Because I see a lot of people very positive on it, but then I see that some Alien fans fucking hate this movie. What's up with that? What's the controversy? What's up with that? Watch Solo or Acolyte Episode 3? Acolyte Episode 3, it's shorter. Does Josh even know how to get into the Diamond Lounge? I mean, that's a good question. I just kind of show up and I'm there, A lot of people didn't like the third act. Okay, it's good until the third act. Interesting. Is there some canon changing stuff or nah? Oh, man, you think so? They reused an idea that sucked the first time? That's always a bold move. Help, I'm stuck in a dry cleaning bag. Oh, dude, you'll be fine. Just keep scratching away. You'll get out of there. Oh, my God. Okay. Thanks. Good one, babe. Not everyone doesn't like the third act. Maybe the rest are trying to kill him back. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, Tim O'Brien, thanks for the 10 spot, brother. Says the Ahsoka rewatch is something I think we all needed after Acolyte. Facts. The reminder of how good Star Wars really is when properly taken care of / handled. Thank you again, Josh Lucas. Nerd Avengers for life. Much love. Hey, I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much, man. Seconds from Disaster says, I saw Alien Romulus the other night. Pretty badass. Not much xenomorph action, but the facehuggers seriously make up for it. They were sick. So is that part of the issue? More facehugger than xenomorph? Is that part of the issue? Third act is Prometheus meets Alien Resurrection. That is a wild combination. I kind of have a soft spot for Alien Resurrection. I'm going to be real. I even have a soft spot for Alien 3. Man, I remember when Alien 3 came out. That movie is directed by David Fincher. I don't know if you guys knew this. But after that movie came out, people were like, dude, I don't know who this David Finch motherfucker is, but he's never going to work in this town again. And, yeah, he proved everybody wrong on that one. Yeah. I think the facts are is just like the first two Aliens are just so goated. It's hard to go from that to Alien 3. I get it. And Resurrection's kind of uneven. But, dude, Resurrection has some cool shit going on, dude. Like, when they're in the water, dude, and the xenomorphs are, like, dodging the bullets and stuff. Think of the worst part of Resurrection, and that's what in Romulus. Oh, no. You're talking about, like, a hybrid? Like an alien-human hybrid thing? Oh, no. Like with the mother or whatever? Yeah, that shit was weird. Okay. Well, maybe I'll check it out someday. If it comes on streaming, I'll check it out. Okay, I want to shift into something else, guys. I want to talk about Lord of the Rings, the animated movie. Did y'all see this? Did y'all see the trailer yesterday? It's kind of surprising to me. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Kind of cool, man. And I want to watch this trailer. We're definitely going to be demonetized again. Awesome. Awesome. But I want to watch this. I want to watch the Japanese version of the trailer. Yo, why do the Japanese be getting all like the best versions of trailers? What's up with that? There's a lot I want to get into with this. Hang on. We're gonna restart it. It's not doing what I want it to do here.
There was an older tale.
Dun, 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 dun. So right away, Peter Jackson presents, and like, dude, they are doing callbacks. They're using that archival footage, trying to get you in the feels of the old Peter Jackson stuff, which is probably a good move because Peter is going to do more in this world, and also like distance yourself from Rings of Power as much as humanly possible. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Doesn't this give you the feels?
All Middle-earth knows the tale of the War of the Ring. But 200 years before that...
Riders of the Mark! Brothers of Rohan!
there was an older tale.
Arise!
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
We come with an offer to strengthen Rohan.
Hera, daughter of Helm, I, Wolf, seek your hand.
Interesting. Okay, so this is probably the wild human tribes, right? Like the people with the Oliphants and all that.
Our fathers speak as if I were not even in the room. I do not want to marry you.
You do not seek an alliance. You seek a throne.
I'm already asleep? What the fuck?
You will live to regret this, old man.
Oh, dude. He killed him with that.
He's dead? You will pay for this with
Damn.
your life.
The boy I knew would never wish for war.
The boy you knew is gone.
Yeah, you see what I mean? With all the
So
Oliphant.
many of them. I pledged to fight for my king.
So these would go on to be the humans that struck the alliance with Mordor, I believe, yeah?
You know nothing of war.
I'm the fastest rider you have.
People need hope here. Something to believe in.
Ooh, the Eagles.
My pride, my joy. You could rule the world.
I think it looks cool.
I am afraid of you.
You should be.
Interesting.
What does Mordor want with rings?
Oh. Okay, so we'll go through this again. Let me turn the volume way down. Again, Peter Jackson presents. They are trying to evoke the ideas of the old trilogy, and I think it's great that he's a little bit more hands-on, and they seem to be trying to distance from Rings of Power, which is good. Back to Middle Earth. I was shocked this thing's getting a theatrical release. What do you guys think? That's crazy. Can't stand the anime style? Dude, I think the animation style is sick. I like it. What's this on? Animal Planet? What the hell? Okay, so Kinji Kamayama. I'm not familiar with this guy. Should we look this guy up? Let's look this guy up. Kinji Kamayama. Who is this guy, huh? What? This guy worked on Akira? He was in the animation department on Akira. That's crazy. Okay. You know what's happening? Okay, so he worked on some Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner, Star Wars Visions. He wrote some stuff on Visions. Okay. Definitely directed a bunch of animation stuff. Nothing crazy though. I mean, I think maybe directed. Okay. I mean, he's definitely been in the industry for a long time. That's cool. What? We're detecting bullshit in your bullshit and they're detecting it? God damn it. There goes all the ad revenue. Hey, make sure you like the video, please. Do me a favor, like the video. So yeah, this is the tribe of humans that are a little bit shady. Doing maybe some witchcraft stuff and become friendly to Mordor, I believe. Or already are? Riders of the Mark.
With an older tale.
What business does an elf, a man, and a dwarf have in the Riddermark? The Riders of Rohan, good shit.
We come with an offer to strengthen Rohan.
Hedda, daughter of Helm, I, Wolf.
Who is the guy? Who is this voice actor? It sounds familiar to me. Who is this?
Seek your hand in marriage.
Our fathers speak as if I were not even in the room.
Yeah, 100%.
I do not want to marry you.
You do not seek an alliance. You seek a throne. You will live to regret this, old man.
So they come to blows.
He's dead. You will pay for this with your life.
Ruh-roh.
The boy I knew would never wish for war.
And I mean, I guess I'll address it. You know, some people are like, oh, it's a girl bossy thing. I don't know, man. I felt like Tolkien always had like that, like strong female kind of characters. I mean, wasn't it literally in the book and in the movie that his daughter, Theoden's daughter is the one that kills the Night King or whatever the hell that homie was, right? Because she wasn't a man, so she gets around the curse. Eowyn, yeah. And I mean, there's just a lot of strong female characters in this lore, so I don't really get it. This could be a case of like kind of being chronically online and just seeing everything through a identity politics / culture war lensing. Now, to be fair, if the vast majority of people view it that way and reject it, then ultimately, yeah, it's bad business because you're not reading the room. But I mean, I think a lot of people, like, I frankly think there's a lot of attention and cloud and social media currency that's connected to being like that sort of willful type of ignorant. But I think the vast majority of people are actually not like that. The vast majority of people are more normal, like, dare I say it, us. And we don't even mind a little bit of this kind of stuff. It's just like when it's so heavy-handed and it doesn't feel like the shit's being respected and you just feel like a bunch of activists are coming in and trying to ruin your shit. Like that's annoying. And like, real talk, that should stop 100%. But it's not like every little, flash of female empowerment or whatever is going to cause me to lose my fucking mind. I think most of us are just going to be chilling normal about this. But it's yet to be determined how the wider audience will feel.
All you knew is gone.
There's so many of them.
I like this, though.
Fight for my king.
You know nothing.
And plus, she's like a hot anime fucking... Like, what do you want? What do you want? She's fucking stacked, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, well, they make all the women look unsexy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they fucking have a stacked anime waifu protagonist, and you hate it now? Like, what?
Nothing of war.
I'm the fastest rider you have. People need hope here. Something to...
Which is, by the way, that's a total anime thing, and like, I don't want to go into it, but it's like, again, that'll become a battleground for the Ouroboros of stupid.
You think I am afraid of you?
I think it's gonna be cool, man.
You should be.
You should be. All right, let me see. Oh my God, temporarily blocked? Really, Bezos? You don't got enough? You don't have enough? You gotta fucking come after little old me, Bezos? Holy shit. All right, let me see if I can find the Japanese version of it. Because it's pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's kind of like Japanese shit. It's just kind of better. I hate how the bookmarks are set up on fucking Twitter. Elon, you big old dumbass. You big old goofy bird. I mean, what the fuck is this? Why can't I just get to this post? Okay, I got it. Right. Boom. I know you're not playing this twice. Alright, here we go. Peter Jackson. What is he saying? Who gives a shit? Shut up and watch it. Oh shit! It does a little, yeah. Oh shit, let's go. Japanese know how to build hype. Yeah.
皆の希望だ。
Yeah.
信じて作戦がある。これが作戦？いい作戦だとは言ってない。
一人の王女に託された。たとえ私が倒れた。この国を導け。運命の戦いが始まる。国を一つにすることだってできたのに。なぜだ。私がお前を恐れるとでも。
恐れるべきね。
Oh! Nice.
ロード・オブ・ザ・リング、ローハンの戦い。
Nice, dude.
この指輪を一体何に?
Ooh, I like the little effect they put on his voice there too. That was cool.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, so like I think this looks cool, man. Now it's bold of them to put this into theatrical release. I wonder how it'll do. It doesn't appear to have maybe the same appeal as like Across the Spider-Verse, some of these other big major animated films. However, Lord of the Rings is kind of like Hollywood royalty. You know what I mean? Like that era of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogy and even the re-releases, even The Hobbit and whatnot. Like, dude, there's a strong association with a lot of moviegoers and the Lord of the Rings vibes. So I'll be really interested to see how this performs. I think it's going to release December 16th. I would love to check this out. And honestly, I'd love to check it out on IMAX. The problem is, not a lot of IMAX super close to me. Also, that's going to be real close when baby number 2 is about to pop out. So, like, I might not be able to sneak out to the theater, you know. Might have to be on watch. But if baby number 2 gets here a little early and then we handle business, then maybe we can all go see the movie then. Either way, I'm excited. Wanted to kind of bring it to your attention, talk about it. What do you guys think? What do you think, chat? And I'll try to catch up on a few of these chats here. Vandal says, "Good day, y'all. In the chat, Vengees. Go check out the new Amazon Prime anthology series called Secret Level." No, I will not, because they took all my ads on the last stream because I watched that trailer and potentially spoiled, you know, some major things. I didn't sign no NDA. Peter says the Discord link isn't working for me. Is it because I'm using my phone? No, it's probably because the link's broke, dude. Let me see if I can get you a new link. Let me see if I can get you some linkage here. Invite people. Copy link. There you go, man. Donnie says, even American anime hitting way harder in Japanese. I know. It is true. You're not wrong. Should call Nerd of the Rings. I was talking to him a little bit about it. You know what I was talking to Nerd of the Rings about recently? Warhammer. Yeah, man. He's starting to get into Warhammer. And get the kids into Warhammer. Oh! Hell yeah. It's time, man. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Warhammer, I have it on my list. I was going to do this way later. But if you want to, we could pivot into Warhammer right now. It's kind of your call. I mean, what you guys want to do? Is there a peace hammer? No, dude. No peace in the 41st millennia. There's only war. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I said what I said. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. So, what are we talking about with regards to Warhammer? Well, probably the fact that this awesome game called Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2. Y'all ever hear about this? I'm trying to find a good video. This is 43 minutes long, though. I'm not trying to watch that. I'm just trying to find a good video. Should we do this one? Let's try. Let's watch this one.
Galaxy-wide in a decade-long campaign with a goal of reclaiming lost planets from its
Okay,
enemies. At
let
the
me
same
explain.
time, an alien race known
Hang
as
on,
the
hang on.
Tyranids
Pause the video.
of high-
Okay, so within 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, I think not this week, but the following, Space Marine 2 comes out. Big video game, actually getting a lot of buzz right now, which is cool. I think it's gonna be a pretty high-profile game, maybe one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Warhammer games to ever come out. Okay. Later this year, December 10th, I think, they're doing that secret level thing with Amazon. That short directly ties into this game, and it actually teases some pretty crazy stuff. So I wonder how it's all going to be layered together. But between this game and between this new animated short that's coming out on Amazon, I think we will see the popularity of Warhammer really rise and really ascend. And of course, I'm a massive Warhammer fan, and I've been quite keen on like the Henry Cavill situation. There've been just so many people making like fake news about Henry Cavill, and it's like it's a gold mine right now to basically be like, dude, they went broke, and got woke, and fell on out of a tree or whatever, and basically saying that like Henry Cavill's mad at Amazon, and that's why the deal's falling apart. I promise you, zero of that is true. None of that is true. The deal may well fall apart. It has nothing to do with what these people are making videos about. But the point is, I just think this is maybe the best chance that Warhammer has to really scale up their appeal. If this game goes over very well, you'll have more eyeballs watching Warhammer stuff than maybe ever before. They have a lot of cool animated things coming out, and that could help, you know, the deal in the sense that the parties involved may be like, okay, well, maybe we could extend this or try to, you know, figure this out because it's obviously a very valuable IP. All that sort of stuff is a big deal. So let's watch this video here. They're going to break down the game itself, which I will be playing on stream, and I'm pretty excited about. So let's check this out together. And maybe you guys will finally see why I'm so crazy about Warhammer. Here we go.
Set in the 42nd millennium, Imperium of Man has launched galaxy-wide in a decade-long campaign with a goal of reclaiming lost planets from its enemies. At the same time, an alien race known as the Tyranids of Hive Fleet Leviathan may have something to say about that. If you're a huge fan of Space Marine 1, you'll notice Captain Titus is voiced by Clive Standen, who replaced Mark Strong, and it's a good fit. Clive's big role, of course, was Rollo in Vikings, and while it may be noticeable to a lot of gamers, if they played the original, I think that it's a pretty good initial voice acting role for him, and works quite well. Space Marine follows along the story from the original. Is this your first time in the Warhammer universe, let alone a game? Here's a quick primer.
Here you go.
Marine chapters are the Holy Warriors. They fight for the purity of humanity against all enemies. They usually assume everybody's an enemy, and if they're innocent, they wait for them to make a mistake, and then boom, also enemy. Chapters of Marines each come from a DNA gene seed from some magnificently terrible ancient warrior and wear armor that's like an A-10 Warthog made love to the loader in the Aliens movies.
That's pretty good.
They fire guns where the bullets are rockets that explode because normal bullets just aren't cool enough.
Hell yeah.
To give you an idea of how badass Space Marines are, so you understand the flavor of the game, they send approximately 3 of these guys in to basically save half the planet. They think 3,000 insectoid enemies careening towards them as a squabble. It's just that to them, a squabble is glassing the planet.
Yeah, they're crazy, powerful. They got like 3 hearts, 4 lungs, all kinds of advanced robotics and stuff going on. And they're super strong, super fast. Absolute badasses.
Level of fights. Tyranids are this universe's versions of aliens.
Yeah, it does actually look a lot like Gears, to be real. And I think the Space Marines are much bigger than the Marines in Gears, but it has a similar vibe, for sure.
Come out of the darker parts of the universe, except even the small ones are big, the big ones are colossal, and the colossal ones are, well, you get it. They basically roam around, free-range douchebags, fucking up planets, so they send in 3 Space Marines. You go out in third-person combat with up to 2 other players in the main campaign, 3-player PvE battles, as well as 6v6 PvP battles.
100%.
The easiest way to explain combat is a mix of hack and slash and what is surprisingly competent shooting, combined with assorted built-up powers, depending on which of the classes of Space Marines and which character
feel like
you
Gears,
are in a mode.
Doesn't it?
Up close, your best bet, if you have it, is the Chain Sword, a Husqvarna powered by some nebulous ridiculous high-octane kill juice that luckily never stops, or high-tensile, never-breaking steel. It's an easy enough system to grasp. Swing a fast enough, then insert a longer button press for a special pre-made combo ender. From wave stomps that send entire groups of enemies flying to Spartan kicks that can crack open the carapaces of even the strongest Tyranid to huge 360 swings. Ranged weapons.
So one of my good buddies actually plays Tyranids as his main army. And so every time I get like a disgusting kill or like just crush a bunch, I'm going to send him pictures, screenshots. I can't wait, dude, for the Emperor.
Run the gamut from bolt guns to laser pistols, sniper rifles to assault rifles, each with their own abilities. And most of them also have the ability to aim down the barrel, sort of, to take shots at enemies farther off. Most enemies can also be executed when you finally do enough damage to them, which powers up your Space Marine meter. Specials, depending on class, feel pretty good. Pinging enemies with a radar that somehow spots enemy weak spots to make them easier to defeat fits the game's fiction, if not wholly some kind of science. Cool. But that's the best part of Warhammer. It just fits, just barely. Speaking of just barely, let's talk about the parry button. So at any time, you can try to parry enemies with your chainsword when they're attacking.
Hey, by the way, there were crazy leaks for this game. I haven't actually looked into them, but if the Custodes are in this game at all, somebody needs to hit me up and let me know. Because you could spoil that for me. That would be incredible.
On the enemy, this may stagger them back for a moment. Others, it may shirk off, and they may need even more hits because they're stronger. And others,
what do you mean the real stream? We're streaming. Watch that video. There's Warhammer.
However, in the light of the couple odd hundred or so that might be trying to get in a shot at you like some shitty MTV roast, parries aren't always the slickest in both feel and appearance and timing, despite a colored icon that appears on main enemies that are attacking. It can be messy. War often is. But the enemy...
What are the Custodians? They're only the coolest fucking thing in Warhammer. My personal favorite army. Let me just tell you a little bit about them. So as opposed to the Space Marines, who are like kind of genetic, throw everything in but the kitchen sink kind of projects, the Custodians are like Lamborghinis. They're made from scratch on like the genetic, possibly even the molecular level. So they are super soldiers that don't have like all these weird extra organs and, gigantism. They're just these like 9 feet tall, godlike beings. They all wear golden auromite armor. Their value is measured in literal worlds. So every time a Custodian dies, it's like losing multiple worlds worth of value. They are the personal guardians of the Emperor. They are the personal guardians of the Sol system, which is like Earth or Terra and all of those things. They are absolute badasses. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Types here, as well as the more gritty muted colors, means that it can be difficult to identify enemies attacking or not, despite this single enemy indicator I talked about before.
They're real cool.
The colors overlap a bit more here, and while appreciated at times, it's just a wave of viscera and gore that you skate across. I do hope that there's a bit more of a color differentiation as you continue to play the game. I found myself appreciating the darker tones and being infuriated.
No, you know what? That's one of the weird things is like the only kind of weird part about the Custodians is that they actually can't be disloyal. So they also, I'm not going to say they're like, they don't have free will, but there's like something kind of weird about the Custodians. Now, eventually some of them break out of that and form like their own personalities and free will, etc. But like that's like one of the things that's like, yeah, they're these super godlike beings. But they also literally have loyalty to the Emperor, like, bred into them from the molecular level.
Created at the same time at that looser feel of the parry, especially against this type of enemy.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't even know if they care about their wieners, which is weird.
This is also where it can feel very much like the game is built around co-op, because single player with bots isn't the greatest experience right now, as they don't protect you much.
Also,
it's like being attacked on all sides by a tyrannical, homicidal palm.
Also, can we just make mention of the fact that it was Lady Boner that got us talking about Custodian wieners? Like, it's not my fault. That's on her. So that's Lady Boner doing her thing.
Granite just exploding red blobs around you, and many times the other characters just don't seem too futzed with caring. And having Bocephus, the apparently one-eyed best friend who can't seem to see you unless you're down, isn't always the easiest way to victory.
True.
Now, let me
I've heard
explain
the
this with a
bots, not
concrete
the best.
example. The second PvE level culminates in a
God.
huge boss battle
Let's
against
go.
what can only be described as a Tyranid that may have eaten at least half the enemies you saw in a cutscene in an earlier part of the level.
Sick.
A half-open arena that is at times a grand display of the chaos that ensues in a Warhammer Space Marine battle, but at the same time shows that Warhammer needs some balancing, especially if anyone wants to go it alone. PvE mode with one player means the boss only attacks you with specials, or at least 90% of the time, no matter how far away they are from you, which results in 4 to 5 blockable attacks and 1 unblockable but dodgeable attack, plus the additions. Getting downed is frequently the noticeable only time the boss goes after anybody else, and that means when comrades try to heal you, it results in a number of false start resurrections on any difficulty mode. This was replicated with my one mission experience in the campaign as well. It's not that it's not doable, I did. It's just that it's highly artificial feeling, especially when you're
Guys, I'm gonna
a normal
shut
Marine
the,
and you might be teamed up with an assault unit that could be a huge
I'm going to shut the gambling off in like 5 minutes, so get your rolls in.
threat for a boss who just doesn't seem to care that much. Some balancing of those attacks, and in particular aggro and threat, would be useful. Now, some may say, well, it's got the option for co-op mode. Everybody should just play it that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. The option's there, and many may not have groups or want to engage with it. No reason to have a mode that isn't set
play
up to
co-op
offer the best
for
experience
sure.
if it's in the game in the first place. The PvE levels also change up slightly in the enemy variety and placement, and that's aside from the difficulty levels that you choose. Also, the game handles online a bit wonky right now, but this is for the preview. You have 3 players online co-op, which is great, but people were able to randomly join my game, and there doesn't seem like there's any system to particularly close that down, which isn't something a gamer may want, putting together a game that you want to play with friends to leap into. So when I was playing, trying to record, people just dropped into the game, inevitably ruining footage I was trying to capture. The only way I could find a way to lock out others was to go into offline mode in Steam. However, the game warns you that offline mode isn't saved, at least currently, and I can guarantee you it's not. I'm going to chalk that up to the preview and see how it all works in the review code. It wasn't completely horrible, but it does mean that there's a pretty big difference between the two experiences. Available in the preview was a campaign level as well as these 2 PvE levels, with the campaign level locked to the company's own B-roll footage. The campaign furthers the narrative of Captain Titus and his 2 brothers-in-arms fighting off the Tyranids and other chaotic forces, while the PvE missions were basically just missions based around searching out goals in larger levels, planting mines, finding mines, or mining plants and blowing them up, as well as the ability to put together your own Space Marine across the various classes, outfitting them with unique armors, weapons.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm most excited for, especially because like Ultramarines are not my chapter of choice. I'm like a Dark Angels or a Blood Angels guy, so I'm excited to be able to, you know, get those chapters unlocked.
Skills unlocks with experience points and more, which I'm going to cover now. And luckily, this was easy enough, but there are a great deal of them, from backpacks to greaves, breastplates, and more, all requiring successful missions in multiples of 7 to unlock the next item. Since each armor piece unlocks at a different number starting out, that means different initial successful missions will unlock different items, meaning you may unlock 7 and then 1 at 14 for a greave, and it may unlock at 3rd and then 10th for a different item. Initially, I thought this was odd, but it worked out pretty well as I continued to play. You can also unlock chapters and their colors as you level up and get points, including some unknown foundings and Chaos Marine chapters. However, reminder, this is successful missions, meaning if you fail, while you will get experience and points to buy other items, the armor apparently specifically...
Warhammer bad. Hey, just give the game a chance. You're gonna love it.
Needs successful missions to accomplish. That's again why I brought up the balance issues earlier. Now, each Marine...
Just trust Papa Josh, goddamn.
Also unlocks skills across their classes with core, gear, team, and finisher skills, with each class having its own complete set. Each level with that class unlocks a skill. While many are in the percentage base, unfortunately, increases that we expect, most are pretty hefty increases or additions to bonuses, so they're noticeable. The real juice and the part that's going to make building teams matter so much are the team skills, with only one class truly having a basic healing. Some of the others have massive changes to their brethren whenever in combat, ones that, depending on the mission, are going to make a team turn from a skirmish unit who needs to stay out of direct battle to a bunch of mechanized cans where the enemies forgot the can openers. Especially when combined with your weapon upgrades, with each rarity type having their own perks and other versions able to be unlocked as well. One unique caveat here is that while character skills unlock per level, they're not purchased. You can choose to do so, which is good because some have a bit of a glass cannon feel to them, which may...
It's cross-platform. It's going to be on... I'm going to get it on PC. I think it's on the PlayStation and the Xbox.
not appeal to everybody. So I actually skipped a couple of the skills that I unlocked and didn't buy them while I bought others. I actually like that. There are also trials you can take as well to test out the particular skills for your classes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it gives you rewards you can use to unlock items, each specifically related to that class.
No, Reed. We don't have any other videos. We're watching the Warhammer one.
Graphically, as everything is presented
Couple of
to you,
weeks.
the game is steeped in those gothic futures.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Like, you look at this, like the structure, the architecture. I love the style of Warhammer. The high gothic stuff is just brilliant. I said this when we were talking about Dune. You know, Dune's cool, but it's like, you know, sparse. It's like subdued. You know what I mean? Like Warhammer is not. Warhammer's very big, very loud, very imposing, in your face.
Almost religious fervor.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. A Warhammer movie could be incredible.
Basically, everything a death metal fan would probably like.
Minimalist. That's a good way to put it.
The tangible feeling of weight to everything. For example, where Star Wars shows...
What are the monsters? So that's the Tyranid Hive. They're basically just this eldritch horror that just consumes biomass. So they're just all about going to planets, taking all the biomass, and then they make more of themselves.
Movies have degenerated into lightsaber battles that look like pissy chipmunks fighting on 2 times the speed. Warhammer's always had a love affair with the gravity of its writing and its characters, both narratively and figuratively.
True.
Doesn't mean it's always good, it just means there's a weight there. And that animation plays out here. No better exemplified when pounding down a dirty, muddy hill, and you can watch the Marines leap back like people hiking down an expert trail that they have no right to, or the mud that sloshes up during stomps through blood-filled muddy bogs, or the first time thousands of Tyranids all flock across a disabused bridge, its back broken down the center, almost bird-like as they flock around. If birds were 6 feet tall and had razors for wings and carried guns that shot acid grubs that bored through the world's thickest armors.
Yeah.
Where the game succeeds here in the near and far is how it all comes together and looks pretty stunning.
Yeah.
Coming out of that scene and back into the closer confines, you start fighting and pulling off fatalities on enemies, tearing off carapaces, catching enemies leaping towards you and tearing off their legs to stab them in their own head and more. Feels good. As the saying goes, the best weapon against an enemy is another enemy. In Warhammer, the best enemy is one used to beat another enemy to death. A light mission here may have over 1,000 enemies, snipers, flying creatures, and the Tyranid's version of the Armored Knight, which, let's be honest, is just another one of them, bigger, badder, and somehow wearing his brother's for armor, and carries a sword made of his own body's bones. And so far, this offers a phenomenal sense of the best atmosphere matching intellectual property in a game so far. The best part is...
That's a chaos-wielding 1,000 suns.
So far, this offers a phenomenal sense of the best atmosphere matching
That's cool. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Intellectual property in a game so far. The best part is also
the thing is, so the 1,000 Sons, they were all cursed, but because their Primarch was like fiddling with dark magic, so they are all actually just made of dust. So inside all of their armor, it's just dust. And their Primarch is like trying to cure that curse, but has not been able to in like 10,000 years. So they're all just like, if you ever watched Full Metal Alchemist, they're all kind of like that brother, where they're just like trapped in a suit of armor.
That this was all delivered at well over 100 FPS on the 4090. Now you may say that's a powerful card, and it is, but the number of previews that are in the same timeline as this one that didn't come close to that, with hundreds of enemies also in this game cavorting in masses of murderous intent, is very high. Over 50% of games that really haven't reached even close to this performance. So to say that I was happy to see this delivered smoothly was excellent. I did have one noticeable issue, and that's one time per level, or maybe every other level, I had a noticeable screen freeze for 1 to 3 seconds. Interestingly enough, this didn't accompany any more VRAM usage or specific swapping, so I assume that's purely just a software side glitch that'll be remedied later when Space Marine 2 comes out. Warhammer Space Marine 2 does feel like World War Z, though, and I want to explain that. From its Tyranids climbing up the side of a wall next to you.
We love Warhammer here. We're all excited about Warhammer, right, chat? Let's go!
Rush tactics, switching from
console.
Relic and the engine they use to Saber's Swarm engine offers a somewhat noticeable change to the feel of the game, combined with this new enemy type, certainly compared to the original game. And much like the underpinnings of World War Z, the enemy classes and different subspecies fits nice into ranged and damage-based.
You know, if Ryan gets this game, maybe we could schedule like a campaign playthrough. You know what I mean? If he gets on there. Justin, do you love it? You're going to get the game, right? You know, maybe we'll play together.
Delivery systems. Armored but slow tanks eliciting a nerve-wracking dance of blocking and parrying is offset by the more swarm-like smaller species eaten up easily by a sword swing or two or a couple shots, though they stagger and parry.
It does
and that
look
can
sick,
be
yeah.
interruptive, especially when in mass. Those enemies are then reinforced by ranged biological swarm bolt-firing enemies, as well as their compatriots and poison, the long-range snipers, who can send your Marine flying backwards with whatever their version of a 50 caliber slug is. Space Marines and Tyranids have always been the Warhammer universe's bloodiest peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a beautiful, nasty mess that is, at the best of times, a glorious holdover to the action of Gears of War with an enemy count of World War Z mixed in. Right now, Warhammer Space Marine also plays pretty damn good. Good with some issues.
Nice.
And Warhammer...
Mr. Penguin says, do you think it would be a smarter idea to have Jon Favreau in charge of Lucasfilm? He's a company man more than Dave Filoni, and Dave can keep his creative role?
Always seem to play...
Yeah, I'd be down. All right, fine. We'll stop watching the Space Marine video. My God. At least you guys all know Space Marine 2's coming out, and we're a Warhammer channel now, so I'm excited.
Well, no less a result of the functional
Yeah,
change.
so, dude, get ready for that shit. And let's see here. I have on here... Well, you know what? I kind of want to... Maybe we could just finish off with this, guys. Let's watch the new kind of culty video. What do you think? I thought we were a Doom channel now. Oh, hell yeah. No, we're both. What game was that? Space Marine 2. Game is going to be non-existent for you once Marvel Rivals comes out. Yeah, but that's not till December, dude. You should watch the Black Myth Wukong intro. What you mean? Like the cinematic? Your Warhammer channel isn't a Warhammer channel. You don't say that. I tagged that video in Discord. Oh, thanks, man. That's cool. I thought this was a Frozen channel. What does that even mean? Yeah, it's coming out in the next couple of weeks. Yo, let's watch this culty video and then call it a day. What do you think, chat? Kinda culty did a 40-minute video.
We're going in 3, 2, 1.
All right, brother. I got you. Q is not a robot. I got you. Appreciate you guys on Twitch, too.
Yo, what up, everyone? Tay here. And been super busy this month with work stuff and some other projects I'm working on. So I've missed a lot, and we have a lot to talk about regarding all the crazy stuff that's been going on with the MCU and the news coming out, the announcements over Comic-Con in the last few weeks. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss today, but what I really want to get into is I was recently looking over some of the past Fantastic Four and Avengers leaks that have come out over the past year or so to kind of see if there's any information in there that could give us some hints at what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I like this too because, you know, one of the things we've been talking about is like it feels like this RDJ Doom thing has been in the making for at least a year. So there's absolutely stuff that's been leaking out that will still apply.
With the Fantastic Four and the upcoming Avengers movies in light of all the recent news that's been dropping. Because over the past month, Marvel Studios have obviously confirmed a lot of plot details about both the Fantastic Four and Avengers 5. And I noticed that some of those details line up very closely with some of the older leaks that dropped, you know, over the past year before any of that info was officially revealed by Marvel Studios. So yeah, we'll discuss that as well as a bunch of other recent Avengers news and theory talk relating to Phase 6 in general. But first, before we get into everything, of course, I should throw out the potential for spoilers and a spoiler warning because I am going to be discussing some of these older Fantastic Four and Avengers leaks.
Got it.
So yeah, there's always the possibility that those could
hell
contain
yeah, Jordan.
spoilers. So,
I love Magic the Gathering. It's been a while since I've been like really into it. But a lot of people that have been here for years, they know I love Magic. I'll usually, like if I get together with the homies, we're either playing Magic or Warhammer. It's good stuff.
You've been warned.
And there's going to be Marvel MTG soon
of the video because we do have a bunch of super thanks questions to get to. Which, on that note, remember that if you would like to leave a super thanks with a question or a comment on this video, that those are greatly appreciated.
I didn't see it.
Really help out the channel a lot, and that I will read and respond to those in the next video.
Gotcha. Avengers Doomsday. Still kind of can't believe it.
Stephen, your arrival here confuses and destabilizes reality. The larger the footprint you leave behind, the greater the risk of an incursion.
Incursion?
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
Uh-oh.
All right, so like I said, in this video, we are going to discuss both some
let's
past
do it.
and recent leaks, and then add that to everything that's been confirmed so far about Phase 6 and the upcoming Avengers movies, and then, like always, we'll spin that off into some detailed theory talk. And one of the scoops that dropped just recently...
Oh, what the hell? Chris says, Josh, I need your top theories for Frozen 3. What new powers will Elsa get? Will Anya get powers? Will we see new magic introduced? Oh, man, what the hell? I think the snowman is going to become the big bad. And he'll take all the frozen ice powers. And Elsa and them will get no powers. And they'll have to build a suit of armor in a cave in the Middle East.
Came from Daniel RPK, where he said that RDJ's Doctor Doom will be a variant who comes from the same universe that the Fantastic Four will come from.
Yeah, that is cool.
Because,
it's interesting.
As we know, Marvel Studios have already confirmed that the events of the Fantastic Four movie will indeed take place in an alternate timeline and not the MCU 616 universe, not the Prime universe.
Yep.
Now, considering the source and that this is a scoop, of course this should be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
However, I did think that this was worth mentioning because with Doctor Doom likely being a variant, on top of how intertwined Doom is with the Fantastic Four in the comics, I do think it would totally make sense for him to come from their same universe, especially considering that the Fantastic Four will be one of the last movies to come out before Avengers Doomsday.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Now, considering the monumental amount of money that Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid by Marvel Studios to come back, I kind of doubt that we will see him have some kind of significant role in the actual Fantastic Four movie itself.
True.
But that said, I do think that there is a very good chance that Robert Downey Jr. will make his first official appearance as Doctor Doom in one of the Fantastic Four post-credit scenes as a way to directly set up what's going to happen in Avengers 5. But when it comes to setting up the upcoming Avengers movies, I don't think it'll just be the Fantastic Four credit scene that will be important. I think it'll likely be the entire events of the movie itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Because based off of everything we know so far, I do think that what happens in the Fantastic Four movie with their universe and Galactus and all of that stuff will have direct consequences that will affect the MCU 616 universe and the bigger catastrophes that will happen there in Avengers Doomsday and even following that Battle World in Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about is the incursions. Because Marvel Studios first introduced the concept of the incursions back in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And then we also saw Kang mention the incursions to Janet in Ant-Man Quantumania. And then we even saw the beginning stages of an incursion at the end of the Marvels.
True.
And there's only one reason that Marvel Studios would introduce the concept of the incursions into the MCU. And that is because they were likely foreshadowing the role that the incursions would play in the upcoming Avengers films.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the only time that the incursions have really been used in the comics was in Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers Incursion Saga, which ended with the multiverse being destroyed by the incursions, which is what then directly...
Which is a great run of comics. I had an idea, and I thought it would be kind of cool, because like I think about like what do we do for like some subathons or like some goals. One subathon idea I had was like, I will read all of Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers all the way through to Secret Wars, but we would have to like, you know, get enough subs to like do that, because that would take a long time. That was like 3 or 4 years of comics, but it's my favorite run in all of comics. Like, to me, it's the greatest, not only the greatest story that was ever told in comics, it was the greatest time of reading comics. That was peak. Like, that was just peak. And Marvel Comics actually has never been the same since this whole thing stopped. But damn, dude, what a good time to be reading. Mr. Penguin says, will we see in a Sky World Frozen 3 an incursion happening? And is Olaf the anchor being? Yes, Olaf is the anchor being, 100%.
He led into Battle World and the 2015 Secret Wars event. So yeah, I think that the incursions are likely going to be a very big part of the plot in Avengers Doomsday, just like they were in the lead up to Secret Wars in the comics. In fact, I think that's probably the real reason why Marvel Studios titled Avengers 5 Avengers Doomsday in the first place. Because on the surface, it's obviously a title that lets general audiences know that Doctor Doom is going to be the big main villain of the movie. But I think that the deeper meaning behind that title is that it's because the plot of that movie will be about the last day of the MCU when an incursion comes to destroy it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it'll quite literally be the doomsday of the MCU 6-1.
Who's more powerful standalone, God Emperor or Doom? Are you talking about the God Emperor of Warhammer or the God Emperor of Dune? Because when it comes to, if it was Warhammer, they're very close. I feel like the God Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer could absolutely give Doctor Doom an incredible fight and maybe beat him.
6 universe. And honestly, I've been kind of surprised that Marvel Studios haven't mentioned the incursions more recently in some of their recent projects.
I agree with
like
that,
Deadpool
actually.
And Wolverine, for
example.
example.
100%. Like, it just feels a little disjointed. Like, this whole anchor being thing instead of incursions. Like, it does feel like things have just been kind of shifted.
Because the first time I watched that movie, as much as I enjoyed it, I thought that using the incursions...
I'd say both. I mean, God Emperor Doom, of course, you know, super powerful, but so is the God Emperor of Mankind. Like, it's, we'd have to be talking about Horus Heresy, God Emperor of Mankind. Obviously, after he fights Horus, he's just a corpse. But, yeah.
Have been a better way to explain Wade's universe dying instead of the whole anchor beings concept. But then I thought about it, and I think for one thing, Marvel Studios introduced that concept of anchor beings because that will also be significant in the upcoming Avengers movies.
True.
But I also think that the other reason that they didn't use the concept of the incursions in Deadpool and Wolverine was because they don't want to use the same plot device multiple times and have it lose its impact. However, at the same time, if the incursions are going to be at the center of the plot for Avengers 5, then I do think it's necessary for Marvel Studios to remind the casual audience of what exactly an incursion is and the real threat that they pose in one of those projects that comes out before Avengers 5. And I think that that project will likely be the Fantastic Four. Because in some of these older Fantastic Four leaks, we heard that Galactus would be the main villain and that the events of the movie would take place in an alternate universe, and that universe would end up being destroyed by an incursion at the end of the movie, but that the Fantastic Four family would somehow escape or be saved before their universe was destroyed, and that's how they will be able to cross over into the events of Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah, makes sense.
And again, these older leaks that I'm talking about came out before any of the Fantastic Four promotional art.
That's true.
And long before Kevin Feige confirmed that Galactus would be the main villain and that the events of the movie would take place in a different universe. So at this point, it looks like at least part of what was in those leaks appears to be accurate, which does make me want to look a little bit closer at the other parts of the leaks that have yet to be confirmed. Because if the incursions are going to be a major threat and a big part of the plot in Avengers Doomsday, then it would totally make sense for Marvel Studios to want to include the incursions in the Fantastic Four movie and see an incursion destroy their universe. That way the audience can really grasp just what a big...
You know, not to totally step on what he's saying here, but I agree. I think for me, one of the things I'm interested in is like, this looks to be a very advanced world too. So similar to A38. Like A38 was really advanced, if you guys remember. And it seems that the more advanced the timeline is, the more they're going to understand about the multiverse. It's almost like inevitably every Earth learns of the multiverse. That only happens via technology and advancement. So I'm curious as to how much they know about different universes. The other thing here, and maybe Calty will get into this too, is like it's rumored that the Galactus here does not natively come from this universe and possibly destroyed entire other universes before arriving here. And if you couple that with the fact that Galactus might be coming to Earth specifically because of Franklin Richards, what does that mean? Like, is Galactus seeing something anomalous, not just to a particular universe, but to the multiverse itself? Because Franklin's one of the only things that Galactus is afraid of. And it seems like that's going to be brought into the film. So one of the things I'm kind of curious about is like, okay, so how do you weave Doctor Doom into this? You have this advanced version of the Fantastic Four. You have Franklin being born. You have Galactus from a different universe. Galactus potentially destroyed universes. He's afraid of Franklin. And yet, Victor's not involved? Like, Victor's just not going to be involved until the end of the movie? I don't know.
Big deal the incursions are, and what a destructive threat they represent to the MCU 616 universe once we get to Avengers Doomsday.
Pretty interesting. This is a really important one because Loki is going to be a very big deal and a very big opponent of Doom. 100%. It's gonna be real.
I know what I want. I know what kind of god I need to be. For you. For all of us.
Oh yeah, I didn't put this in a video, or I think I talked about it on a stream, but the symbols on the Eternals, 100% those symbols line up with what's at the Citadel at the end of time in Loki. I'm more convinced than ever that this right here, this throne, is celestial technology, and that the Citadel at the end of time is celestial technology. 100%.
All right, so in the Fantastic Four movie, I don't think it's just going to be the incursions that will affect what's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday, because I think that the events of that movie will also set up Doctor Doom's role in the Avengers movies, and possibly even set up how Doctor Doom will find out about Loki and the TVA.
Yeah.
Because one of the other tidbits of news that's been revealed recently is the company production titles for both Avengers movies.
Yes.
And according to these reports, the production title for Avengers Doomsday will be For All Time Always, and the production title for Avengers Secret Wars will be Royale.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason this is significant is because the production titles that Marvel Studios pick usually contain some kind of hint at the plot behind those projects.
Yes.
So with the production title of Avengers Secret Wars being Royale, that obviously makes me think of a battle royale.
Yeah.
And that would make sense because that would definitely seem to line up with what we can expect for the events of that movie.
Yes.
However, it's the production title for Avengers Doomsday that I think is more interesting, because For All Time Always is, of course, a very obvious reference to the Loki show and the TVA's famous catchphrase, For All Time Always.
For all time, always.
So yeah, with the production title for Avengers Doomsday being For All Time Always, this just seems to confirm the reports we've heard regarding Loki and the TVA playing a huge role in both of the upcoming Avengers films. And in some of the older
Tim
Fantastic
O'Brien,
leaks
thanks
that
for I've been
gifting
a member, man.
Those
Appreciate
said
you.
that the Fantastic Four's universe would be destroyed by the end of that movie, but that the Fantastic Four family would end up being saved somehow.
Yeah.
However, what some of those leaks also said is that the Fantastic Four would actually end up being saved by the TVA, because the TVA knows that they have some kind of bigger role to play in the coming
Which would tie into
multiversal war.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
And
yeah.
again, like I said, these leaks came out quite a while before any real information had been confirmed about the Fantastic Four movie by Marvel Studios, and it was also before much had been confirmed about the plot of Deadpool and Wolverine. And I mentioned Deadpool and Wolverine because in that movie, we saw that the TVA did try to recruit Wade to send him to the Sacred Timeline because, as Paradox put it, his superiors at the TVA saw that Wade had some kind of larger role to play in future events.
Yep, with Thor.
Which I think when we all saw Deadpool and Wolverine and Paradox mentions his superiors, that most of us likely assumed that he was referring to Loki, as Loki is the one that's kind of overseeing the TVA at this point, and he can also appear in...
This is kind of culty. Does great work. You don't like the TVA, Vince? I hear you on that. It is kind of... It almost feels like a big MacGuffin kind of... Or not a MacGuffin, like a Deus Ex Machina kind of organization. It, you know... I guess I would just say, while it does feel like that could easily happen, the TVA could be used as like a Deus Ex Machina, you also have to admit that what they did with Loki was nuanced and brilliant. That's a great, like, arc that they actually took him on via the TVA. So,
into the multiverse and see what's happening throughout every timeline. So Loki would be the optimal person to pick and choose.
Danny, I don't know what you mean, brother. This is
multiverse.
protected by fair use. This is transformative work. Now, if he hit me up and said, like, hey, do you mind not doing that? I would definitely not do it. Yeah, no, dude, anybody puts, do you know how fair use works?
Look it up. Save to form some kind of multiversal Avengers type team. And I mean, for a long time now, we've heard about these leaks and rumors that in Phase 6,
what you mean it happened to you? What you mean, bruh? Somebody copy struck
Deadpool, but that they would also be saving various other different multiversal heroes that have some kind of role to play in future events. And considering that it now looks even more likely that Loki and the TVA will...
What are you adding to it, though? Well, I just paused it and answered your question. So we both added to it together.
Play some kind of big role in Avengers Doomsday.
You don't have to add anything like transformative does not mean making better. I'm actually making it worse right now, and yet it's still protected by fair use.
It does seem quite possible that the TVA could indeed be the ones who will end up saving the Fantastic Four at the end of their movie and bring them over to the Sacred Timeline or to the MCU 616 universe as a way to set their characters up to appear in Avengers Doomsday. Because at Comic-Con, Kevin Feige confirmed that the main characters from Captain America Brave New World, the Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four would all appear in Avengers
But it's just Bucky and Pew Pew, because the rest of them are probably going to be ripped to pieces.
Doomsday. Now, I'm not 100% saying it'll be the TVA who saved the Fantastic Four at the end of their movie, because I'm sure that might just be one possibility that Marvel Studios are throwing around as different ways that they could get the Fantastic Four team over into the MCU 616 universe. And there are definitely plenty of other ways that I could see it being done in the movie besides that. I mean, two possibilities I can think of right off the top of my head is that Marvel Studios could introduce either the bridge or the multiversal life rafts, both of which were very important pieces of technology that could travel the multiverse that were used in Jonathan Hickman's Incursion saga.
True.
But just for the sake of this video, let's go down the path of the TVA and what was discussed in these past leaks and assume that that might be how the Fantastic Four enter the MCU 616 universe. Because if it turns out that the TVA are the ones responsible for saving the Fantastic Four at the end of their movie, then another thing that could directly set up is how Doctor Doom could find out about Loki and the TVA. Because a little while back, Cosmic Circus reported that the upcoming Avengers movies would also be adapting certain plot elements from Jason Aaron's Avengers Assemble and Avengers Forever comic.
Let's go, dude. I love these comics. This shit was fun.
And that is an extremely big multiversal story that's about tons of different multiversal characters and teams. But even though this is a gigantic multiversal story, at its core, the main characters of that comic are really variants of Loki and Doctor Doom.
True.
Because the main hero of that story is a variant of Loki who goes under the alias of Avenger Prime, who is actually very similar to the current version of Loki in the MCU.
Yup.
And then
by the way, not to toot my own horn, but toot fucking toot. Who was the first person to bring this shit up on the internet? It was me.
Story is an extremely powerful variant of Doctor Doom, who goes by the alias of Doom Supreme. Because
yeah, that's right. I was the first one to call it out.
Story is we see this
remember I did a big old video. I was like, Avenger Prime.
Teams of multiversal Avengers as he is watching over the multiverse from the Quarry of Creation. And in the comics, the Quarry of Creation is basically this realm that exists outside.
It's on the God Quarry. Yeah. This is so cool because I do believe this could be a thing. I still kind of think that the Citadel at the end of time is made from the God Quarry, which could just be like condensed energy that the Celestials use. I'm not really sure.
Side of the multiverse, and it's kind of the birthplace of the multiverse because it's where all of these different multiversal branches grow from.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening with Doom Supreme in this comic is he is assembling his own team of multiversal villains because he is trying to defeat Loki and his multiversal Avengers so that he can take over the Quarry of Creation and then use it to take control of the multiverse and reforge its history.
Yeah.
And I bring this up again because I do think that this sounds like it could be very similar to what we will see happen in Avengers Secret Wars, where Doctor Doom will likely be trying to take over control of Loki's throne at the end of time so that he can take over the multiverse or perhaps rebuild the multiverse under his control. But the larger point is that however the movies play out,
Josh is Doctor Doom. Hey, I appreciate you, Twitch. I'm sorry I haven't been paying too close attention to Twitch chat today. Let me try to fix that.
At their core, I do think that two of the main characters of those movies will be both Loki and Doctor Doom, just like what we saw in Avengers Forever. But anyways, let's move on to the next section of the video because we still have a lot left to talk about with Doctor Doom and how he could fit into what's happening with the incursions.
Okay,
as
Twitch,
well
I got you pulled up
what
now.
Could be happening
My
with
bad.
Galactus beyond the Fantastic Four movie as we get into the upcoming Avengers movies and how that could cross over with the plot of Doctor Doom as well. Okay, so besides Jason Aaron's Avengers Forever comic that we just talked about, the other comic that I think will have the biggest influence over the story that's told in Avengers Doomsday will be the early portion of Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, as well as the story that led up to Secret Wars, Time Runs Out.
Yeah.
Because in the Time Runs Out story, while the incursions are slowly destroying the multiverse, Doctor Doom is off on his own mission.
And I meant the Discord link. Oh, okay, I'll get you, brother. I'll get you on that.
So that he can use that information to save at least some semblance of the multiverse. And what Doctor Doom eventually learns is that it's actually the Beyonders who are the ones that are behind the incursions. And at the end of the Time Runs Out story, we actually see Doctor Doom and Molecule Man teaming up with Doctor Strange to go and defeat the Beyonders so that Doom can use the Beyonders' omnipotent power to become a god and create Battleworld. However, it's not until Secret Wars issue number 5, several issues after that, that we finally see a flashback to what exactly Doctor Doom had been doing during the Time Runs Out story and what his bigger master plan was all along. And that is that Doctor Doom figured out that the Beyonders' key to starting the incursions were basically anchor beams.
Norrin Rad,
the same
welcome
concept
back
that was just introduced in Deadpool
to the
and
Nerd
Wolverine.
Avengers.
But
What's
in
up,
the comics,
Olsey?
the anchor beams were not all different characters.
Right.
They were instead all different variants of Owen Reese, the Molecule Man.
Yep.
And how this worked is in the comics, every universe in the multiverse included a different version of Molecule Man. And when a Molecule Man would die, that would start the death process for that universe. So when Doctor Doom figured out that Molecule Man was the key behind the Beyonders' plans and how they started the incursions, he recruited the 616 version of Molecule Man to work with him, and then used his army of Black Swans to send them out into the multiverse and destroy every other variant of Molecule Man they could find. Because under normal circumstances, all of these different Molecule Man variants throughout the multiverse would die off slowly.
Yep.
And that would slowly, over time, destroy the multiverse. But by Doctor Doom making a coordinated plan for his Black Swans to go out and take out as many Molecule Men as fast as they could, this would massively speed up the incursions and thus massively speed up the death of the multiverse. And
yeah, the Black Swan thing's really interesting. It would really depend on if they do Doc Strange 3 before Doomsday or after, because that's going to have the Black Priests in it, or at least that's what the rumor was. So they're cooking with some of the same things in Doc Strange 3. So maybe the Black Swans come in?
And Doctor Doom did this because he saw it as the only way of drawing out the Beyonders so he could trick them and steal their power. And he also did this because it was a part of his grand plan.
I'm not tired,
so
you're
he could
tired.
Use that power to rule over Battle World.
You don't say that.
Which, after the incursions, would be the only reality left in existence.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is all revealed in Secret Wars issue number 5, which is the exact comic that we saw in The Void in Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's true.
And this is something we've talked about in past videos, but I obviously think that this comic being used as an Easter egg in Deadpool and Wolverine makes this issue extremely important.
No nap? Oh, I need one today, bruh.
Now, I think there's probably going to be several different reasons that this specific comic was the one that was included as an Easter egg in Deadpool and Wolverine. Because this issue hints at Doctor Doom, it hints at Anchor Beans, it hints at the origins of Battle World, and it also gives us the backstory of Doctor Doom's larger role in making the incursions happen. So in the MCU, it's possible that in Avengers Doomsday, it could be revealed that Doctor Doom has basically been doing the same thing that he was doing in the comics, that he's been targeting Anchor Beans from across the MCU multiverse and taking them out as a way to cause and speed up the incursions. Now, the one problem with that theory is that in Deadpool and Wolverine, Paradox said that when an Anchor Bean dies, it starts the death process of that universe, which normally takes thousands of years.
Yeah.
So if the death process of a universe takes thousands of years, then that wouldn't really help Doctor Doom.
True.
However, what would happen if someone started taking out Anchor Beans all across the multiverse in a short period of time, or took out Anchor Beans from 2 neighboring universes? Well, maybe that would cause a chain reaction to where those universes would begin to collide, just like they did in the comics, causing this big chain reaction of incursions.
Like accelerate it. Yeah.
I mean, of course, this is just a theory, but based on what happened in the comics and based on the fact that this specific issue of Secret Wars was the one teased in Deadpool and Wolverine, it does seem like it must hold some kind of clues what's going to happen in the upcoming Avengers films.
Bull True
and
or Bullet True.
That Marvel Studios also just introduced this concept of Anchor Beans in Deadpool and Wolverine, it does make me wonder if all of this could tie together in a very similar way that it did in Jonathan Hickman's Time Runs Out and Secret Wars story.
Yeah, we could watch a video on the Black Priest. Maybe we do that a little bit later, though. This might be the last vid for today.
Is how Galactus could potentially fit into
But yeah, that's a good idea.
Because in the Secret Wars comics, both of the Secret Wars comics, actually, the original 1984 version and also the more recent 2015 version, Galactus plays a pretty significant role, especially in the original 1984 comic.
Yeah.
And with Galactus being confirmed to be the main villain of the Fantastic Four movie, and with us knowing that there will likely be some kind of universal catastrophe or an incursion that occurs in that movie, it does make me think that Galactus will most likely somehow tie into that or be involved.
Diamond 7:30 tonight
in that movie, and probably also what's happening with Franklin Richards.
Oh, thanks, Kalisto. That's so sweet of you. $50 super chat's very generous. She says, 5-episode watch party last night, 2-hour stream today, Diamond Lounge tonight. Thank you for all the engagement and hard work, even when you're tired. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, it's sweet people like you that make it easier, you know? And I'm feeling okay. You know, like I said, I kind of knew today. I was like, okay, we're going to stream in the morning. We're going to stream at night. You know, maybe I'll get a little creative work done, but it's really like over the weekend where I'll be able to catch up on some video stuff. So it's all good. I appreciate you guys. I mean, you guys treat me real good. I try to treat you real good. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Probably somehow tie into that big universal catastrophe.
Appreciate you.
And with the Fantastic Four movie likely being, you know, very connected to setting up the events of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, it does make me wonder if Galactus might also have some kind of role in those movies.
Royal lockup,
and
hard
if not
work.
An actual role if what
You got
happens with
anything to
Galactus
fucking
could
say
still
about
somehow tie into those movies. Because, as we know, the Russo brothers are now the ones who are going to be directing the upcoming Avengers films.
Yes.
And the Russo brothers have talked about wanting to direct an Avengers Secret Wars movie going back to like 2017 before they did Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons they would always give when this topic would come up as
Fox
to why
characters.
they wanted to make a Secret Wars movie is because when they were kids, the biggest comic that came out that really influenced them and made them into these huge Marvel comic book fans was that original 1984 Secret Wars story. And even though
they've also linked that to getting all the Fox characters back. I remember them specifically talking about that, where they were like, "Oh, Secret Wars is just so big and fun. It's like our favorite story back in the day." And you know, getting all these characters together now, it could be sick.
So the Beyonder and Doctor Doom are the main villains of that story. Galactus does play a very significant role in the events of that story. And the short version of what happens in that original 1984 Secret Wars story is a bunch of Marvel's most popular heroes and villains come to on these gigantic spaceships as they are being taken off into some mysterious part of space by this mysterious being called the Beyonder, who we actually never see in that story. And they end up on this mysterious planet, Battle World, and are told they basically need to battle each other for the Beyonder's entertainment. And so in that story, while all the different characters are trying to figure out how to escape Battle World and go home, Doctor Doom goes off on his own solo mission to figure out his own plan. And that plan is that he needs to defeat the Beyonder and steal his power, and that way he will be able to fix everything.
Hell yeah.
But with Doctor Doom being a human, he doesn't have even a fraction of enough power to attempt taking on a godlike figure like the Beyonder.
True.
So what Doom does is he decides he's going to steal Galactus's power, the power cosmic, and siphon that power into himself so he can then attempt to use that to defeat the Beyonder and steal his power as well.
Wait, what?
And that's exactly what he does. He tricks Galactus and then uses a device to absorb the power cosmic from Galactus
it's all love, man.
himself,
Thank you.
and then goes and challenges the Beyonder and uses the power cosmic to seemingly defeat him. And this is the point in that original Secret Wars story where everything kind of turns and Doctor Doom becomes the main villain instead of the
I also
Beyonder.
have a figure of this Doom from the original Secret Wars. I wish I knew where it was. But yeah, that's cool.
And I bring this up because this is one of those moments that I wonder if we could see somehow adapted
The truth
into
about
the
Dr. Doom.
Because early on, you know, back when Kang was still the main villain of the upcoming Avengers films, we did hear different rumors and scoops that the Beyonder would be the main villain of Avengers Secret Wars, and that it would be revealed that the Beyonder was actually a Kang variant, most likely Kang the Conqueror from Ant-Man Quantumania, returned with new powers. And while I'm still not ruling out the possibility that we could see...
Yeah, Kaylin, that's totally the thing, right? Any idea how Doom will use celestial technology? I think it has to do with the combination of science and magic. There's this really interesting thing that the Ancient One says at the begin, or it's in the middle of the Doctor Strange movie, where she says, the place where mind meets matter is like the place where all reality branches from, or something like that. She has like a word like that. And I think the truth about the Celestials is like it all has to do with science and technology and magic, like meeting together with like yeah, I guess just meeting together. So I think it'll be something like that with Doom. Braden says, Josh, do you think we'll see Doom fuck up a version of Thanos or something to establish him as being the ultimate baddie? Oh, hell yeah, dude. The Russos are really good at that. They're going to build him up. We're going to get some violence.
See some version of the Beyonder
100%.
in Avengers Secret Wars. At this point, with Doctor Doom in the picture, it does seem a lot less likely because it doesn't seem like there's nearly enough time to also set up another mysterious villain when they're already trying to set up Doctor Doom with not a lot of time. So I do think it's less likely that the Beyonder, if he does appear, will play any kind of significant role like they might have earlier planned to. But the thing is in both Secret Wars stories, the old one and the more recent one, a key element of that story is that Doctor Doom gains these godlike abilities and powers. And I think that'll definitely be something we will see in the MCU Avengers movies as well, that somehow Doctor Doom is going to have to get godlike powers. And it makes me wonder where that will come from. Now, there are several different ways that Marvel Studios could make that happen. One possibility is it could tie into the whole Loki thing and that Doctor Doom could steal Loki's powers, but I'm not sure that would be exactly accurate. I could see Loki playing a role kind of similar to that of Molecule Man in the upcoming Avengers films, but I'm not so sure he'll exactly play the role of the Beyonder. Maybe he could. I don't know. It's complex. There's ways they could adapt elements of the Beyonder story into Loki's story, but not fully, at least not in my opinion. Another possibility is that he could somehow steal the powers from the Scarlet Witch and that they could adapt elements from the Young Avengers Children's Crusade story. And that's something I've talked about in past theory videos. So that's definitely a possibility. Another thing they could do is Doctor Doom could perhaps capture Alioth, similar to what He Who Remains did during the past multiversal war. Because as we learned in Loki Season 1, the way that He Who Remains won the previous multiversal war was he captured Alioth and then used him to destroy other universes. And then once the war was won, he used Alioth to consume everything that was sent to the Void. And one of the things I've talked about in many, many past videos is how I think that the Void will most likely end up being the MCU's version of Battleworld.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on that still. Like, it seems like that's a safe bet, but it also feels like maybe we're going to a place where Battleworld will be more than just one planet, or will be like a whole universe, or there'll be a universe with the Void now being a central Doom planet or something like that.
And after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm even more convinced of that. And if that's the case, then perhaps Doctor Doom could either steal the powers of Alioth and take them into himself, or just use Alioth in a similar way to what He Who Remains did in the past and kind of keep him as the watchdog of the Void while he rules over the throne at the end of time, something like that. Or tying this all back around to Galactus and how he got started on this topic is another thing that Doctor Doom could possibly do is he could steal the power cosmic from Galactus. Because there's a lot of ways that that storyline could somehow be set up or referenced or even occur in the Fantastic Four movie. And if not, then it could occur in one of the Avengers films. Because this is something that we've seen Doctor Doom do multiple times in the comics. We've seen Doctor Doom steal the power cosmic from Silver Surfer, and then we also saw Doom steal the power cosmic from Galactus in the 1984 Secret Wars story. And I do think something like that might make more sense than Doctor Doom stealing the power from the Beyonders, because the Beyonders have not been introduced yet, but we do know that Galactus will be introduced in the Fantastic Four movie. And in the comics, the power cosmic is extremely powerful and would be more than enough for Doctor Doom to become a god in the upcoming Avengers films like he was in the comics, especially since Marvel Studios can write the power cosmic into the MCU in any way they want. And I do think there's a lot of cool ways.
But see, like, this is what I mean. Is like, it's hard for me to imagine Galactus, you know, posing this big threat to Earth or the universe in general, and Victor's, like, not involved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Victor's there, if that's the universe, if Latveria exists there, he's not just going to let Reed fuck this up. You know? So, like, there has to be something more to it.
ways that Galactus could kind of fill a similar role to what the Beyonders had in the Time Runs Out story and that whole Hickman incursion saga, where instead of the Beyonders being the big multiversal or universal threat in the MCU, it could instead be Galactus. Now, this isn't a fully formed theory just yet. This is just something I thought of while I was working on this video. But I do think it's a really cool, fun angle that would be really interesting for Marvel Studios to explore in the upcoming Avengers films, and could make Galactus more than just this one-and-done villain for the Fantastic Four movie, where he could have a much bigger role in the upcoming Avengers films.
I agree.
If he doesn't necessarily have a whole bunch of screen time. So yeah, this is something I definitely think I'll talk about in future videos, because there's a lot of cool angles with that. And like I said, if it's not Galactus, there's a lot of...
Yeah, I think one of the cool things is, like, the movie has to answer some of these questions. So that's, like, part of the reason I'm excited, is, like, you got to answer some of these questions. I think they're cooking up some crazy cosmic stuff. And if it's true that he comes from that universe, like, it just has to be explained.
Cool angles that they could do with Doctor Doom and the Scarlet Witch and Loki and Alioth, and I'm sure other...
Shelf Present says, after the success of Deadpool Wolverine, do you think Disney will have any thought about a Marvel Max line of movies, or they stay Disney Plus, Punisher, John Wick style? I think that a lot of possibilities have opened up for them, but I also think they really want to just get to these next two Avengers movies, because I think not only is the time ticking on some of the cameos, but also, like, that soft reboot is actually really nice. To get into X-Men and just do the soft reboot, I think it's going to be great. So, yeah, I think they're just kind of trying to push forward. Some of this is going to take place after Secret Wars now.
There's stuff that I'm not even thinking of. So, yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Leave your own theories. You know, one of the things about Robert Downey Jr. returning to play Doctor Doom in the upcoming Avengers films is it leaves so many possibilities of where Marvel Studios and the Russo brothers could go with this story. That this is just one avenue and one possible road.
It's pretty interesting.
And I'm sure in some of the upcoming videos, I will go down a completely different path and talk about totally different theories, and that'll be something that continues up until the trailer drops and eventually the movies start to come out. So yeah, you guys leave your theories in the comments down below, and I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share.
Oh, hell yeah. Good video. Called the as per usual. Good video, brother. I kind of think, guys, that this could be... I feel like it's going to be connected to the Celestials. I think they might bypass the Beyonder now. I think Celestials might be the better way to go.
Don't go anywhere just yet.
Right? So maybe Celestial, maybe some of that otherworldly stuff, where all be, you know, the 10 rings, the bangles, or stuff like that. Like stuff like that could operate as well. But I think it'll probably be a combination of maybe anchor beings, you know, taking the energy from the anchor beings, maybe using that technology. Yeah, not really sure. They got some options. That's for sure. What do you guys think? Galactus is crazy. Galactus is crazy. Oh, I still haven't read the Wolverine Revenge yet. I gotta catch up on my comics, man. I'm behind on my comics, bro. Eternals 2, will it ever happen? Probably not. But you will get the Eternals and the Celestials playing a big role in some future stuff. I've heard they really want to do Celestials versus X-Men, mutants as deviants, that kind of stuff. I always understood it as the Void is the only place you can have incursions. No, incursions happen between two universes. So, Wolverine versus Deadpool, who wins? Probably Wolverine. It's hard to say though. So hyped for Doom that Fortnite brought me back. Loving this season. It has been cool. I haven't got to play it as much as I wanted to, but yeah, it's cool. Can I imagine if he fights Iron Lad and Superior Iron Man? Yeah, that'd be kind of sick. I'm gonna be honest, I'd be kind of sick. I'd be kind of down. Because it'd be sick. Yo, you guys got any cool plans this weekend? I mean, I know we're all excited for the Diamond Lounge. That's going to be cool. But what else is going on? Hey, Mr. JB, thanks for gifting 5 memberships, brother. Holy cow. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you very much, brother. Man, you guys have been great. The support's been unreal, so I really appreciate it, you know? I'm a little tired, but I'll be all right. And we'll be live tonight. It's going to be fun, man. Have a couple drinks, have a couple smokes, talk some shit. It's going to be good. What are we doing in the Diamond tonight? Oh, the usual, man. The usual. We'll talk about what we're all drinking, what we're all smoking on. Hey, Rossi, thank you. Yeah, 7:30. Thank you for gifting another membership. We'll talk about crazy stuff's going on in the world. I wanted to talk a bit about Zen. And how I've been feeling. I've been feeling really good lately, and I just kind of want to share that, talk about Zen a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about the crazy state of the world. I mean, you know, the world just keeps on being crazy out there. A lot of crazy shit going on. So there's probably no shortage of hot button topics. Wait, what? 2 minutes ago, Ultron is back, and so is James Spader. What? Hang on now, chat. Hold up. Wait a minute. We've got breaking news. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. James Spader returning as Ultron for Marvel's Vision series. Okay. James Spader is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Emmy-winning actor is set to reprise his role as the voice of the robotic villain Ultron in Marvel Studios' untitled Vision series. The follow-up series was acclaimed WandaVision show, first played the role in 2015. Paul Bettany's coming back. Terry Mataladis, the much-heralded showrunner of Star Trek Picard, is spearheading the new show, which has been referred to as Vision Quest, although it's not its official title, which tackles White Vision's search for a new purpose in life. Adding to the show, the mythological mix is Ultron, who, as Marvel fans know, was a sentient being created by Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man, to act as a defense program, but instead turned against humanity. He then created his own sentient being, who happened to be Vision, in order to have help in destroying the human race. But luckily for Earthlings, this son turned against his father to help the Avengers defeat the bad guy. Ultron was seemingly destroyed at the end of the movie. It's unclear how he would return and what kind of relationship he would have with Vision. That's pretty cool. You know what's interesting about that, man? Is like Vision Quest to me was a show that I was like, bro, why are they making this show? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, why? We don't need this. But adding Ultron into the mix, that's nice. This is my tweet. My interest for this show just shot way up. And that's true. I mean, literally, just by doing something like that, that's interesting. That brings in all kinds of curiosities. That is pretty cool. So, you know what? Kudos to them, at the very least, for throwing something in there that's going to be more interesting. Because otherwise, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a nah from me. Yeah, I've heard the season 3 of Picard's really good. This Matt Aladdis guy, people are really hyped on this guy. I don't know too much about him, but I've been hearing some hype. And that's cool. Yeah, I mean, Vision, Ultron, Tony Stark, like, there's something there. There's a thread there. That could be interesting. Matt Tal ass. Dude, you don't gotta be rude like that, Trev. Holy shit. Josh, did you not think they would do things in this Vision show that people wouldn't like? Of course the show will be loaded with things, sir. Yeah, I had my doubts. Metal ass. Dude, you guys. Bunch of potty mouths in chat, man. Language. It's Matalalas. That's how you pronounce it. Matalalalala. I double checked. Okay? So just relax. Just freaking relax, man. Just freaking relax. Hey, Ape Man. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venge now. Appreciate you, bro. I think you were on the stream last night, right? Over on Twitch. I think I remember talking to you a bit. So that's cool. I appreciate you. You think so? I don't know. We'll see, man. Streaming's kind of like just like stream of consciousness for me, so it would be hard. It's hard to censor. So I'll try, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Thunder Mikey, appreciate you, man. This is my workplace YouTube account. It says the nerdiest, vengiest with a picture of me. What the fuck? Yeah, we don't want your stiff ass socks, bro. Get that out of here. Yeah. So tonight will be cool. Before we get out of here, any cool plans, guys? What are you guys doing this weekend? You guys gonna get into Warhammer? Should we do just Warhammer tonight for the Diamond Lounge? Kyber, man, I appreciate it. We'll see what's going on. I'm juggling like a million things right now, so Warhammer tonight for the Diamond. Doing some drugs this weekend. I mean, that can be fun. You gonna go see Romulus? Oh, that seems cool. So, just so we're clear, Warhammer tonight, that's gonna be sick. We could talk about Warhammer. You guys could watch me play a Warhammer game. Yeah. Oh, boy, Landon. Oh, boy. Might go to the Ren Fest over the weekend. What? That sounds awesome. Take some pics. I've never been to a Ren Fair or a Ren Fest, but it seems like it would be fun. Gonna write some R&B this weekend? Oh, that sounds really cool. That'd be really chill. Playing golf on Sunday? Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm having a little bit more of a chill weekend. We had family in last weekend, so I'm gonna just kind of chill more. I have some video work to do, some comic book work, but yeah. Yeah, AJ, we just talked about it a little bit, yeah. Do you have the first Space Marine game on Steam? I do not, actually. I have an MF Doom mask. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. You got the whole get up, dude. Hell yeah. Dar Boyd says, going to Tampa Bay Comic-Con this weekend. Gonna be sick. Nerd Vengers represent. Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait till next year when I'm more active and I'm at different conventions and whatnot. It'll be cool to see you guys. Yeah, it'll be cool. Turkey legs and watching the jousting. Yeah, that would be fun, bro. Yeah, it'll be cool to see you guys next year at some cons, man. Have some good times. That'll be good. That will be terrific. All right, everybody. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here for all the streams this week. It's been a really fun week. One last stream tonight at 7:30 for the Diamond members. It's going to be real fun. Real fun. So I'll see some of you for that. Otherwise, videos over the weekend, and we'll be back at it on Monday. So one more and I get a diamond? Yes, brother. Yes. That's how that works. All right, everybody. Yeah. That's all I got. Hey, listen. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Unless you want to talk Warhammer, we can keep going. You know, if it's more. Hey, Tim O'Brien, thanks for the gifted member. Chris, thank you for the gifted member. Does that mean I should turn the camera back on? It's Warhammer talk.
In a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure. In a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered.
I couldn't find the part where she was like, yes. But you get the point. Yes. Well, while I have you here, might as well ask, is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Hey, Rossi, thanks, man. Ah, man. What a world. What a world. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for your time, your attention, the chats, the member chats, the super chats, the subscribes, and just hanging out, yo. Thank you for hanging out. We have much more to do. Much more nerd-venging in our future. And remember, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky but